The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back. The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back. The streets will never love you back.
Scoring your 23.
Never love you back. What's up, guys? 42 people in the chat. Boston J, Beck Brooklyn, Roderick Molina, Vinny, 1965, Doe Cross, Benny from the Bronx. What's up, guys? Nikki's girl, how are you? How's everything? Well, I'm supposed to be coming on here with Don Berlin today, but Don said he's not ready until 5 p.m. So we'll come back at 5 p.m. But in the meantime, I'm on here. I'm going to chop it up with you guys. It's Sunday. It's a fun day. It's my day off. I figure, you know what? I haven't been on here in a while. Let me hang out with you people and see what's going on, talk about current events, things that's going on in my life, your life, whatever it may be. But I hope everyone's having a good day out there. It's a beautiful day in New York City. I hope it's beautiful where you guys are at. And we're here again. So Don Berlin's going to be back around 5. I'm going to come on for a little while, chop it up with you guys. I spoke to Joey Smokes. So Joey Doves is back home. Thank God. Good for him. I'm happy that he's home with his mom and he's out of that county jail. So maybe later on he'll come on for a minute too and he'll tell you his experience of the county jail in Pennsylvania, which, you know, some of these county jails are a lot rougher than actually prison, you know, federal prison and state prison. The county jails are like the worst. You got the garbage of the garbage in there. But let me throw a couple comments up. Ireland, New York. What's up, Jimmy? What happened? The white cap. Anyway, great to see you. Hope you and the family are well. Yeah. What you do is send me your address again, and I'll make sure you get a white cap. I have a couple laying around here and there. And I got some new merchandise coming. Hopefully, I'll be putting it up soon. Hey, Boston J. Steven Sanchez, how are you? Junior, salute, Jimmy. Salute to you. Please feel free to donate to the channel, as Jimmy would greatly appreciate it. God first. Thank you, Boston J. Boston J, my man, my guy. County sucks big time, especially down here in Florida. It sucks everywhere. You know, I was in a county jail when I first cooperated, they take you, they put you in a seg unit, and then eventually they throw you in a county jail, and that's where they debrief you. The prosecutor will come up with the agents, they debrief you, talk you about your past, all the crimes you committed, stuff like that, whatever you were involved in. And but when I was there, my attorney came to see me also, and I always had confrontation with the COs because some of the COs they really take their job very seriously, and they don't want to treat another human being with respect. A lot of them are like that in prison, So, but the time I spent there, I remember always making nachos in the county jail. The small time I spent there, maybe 2 weeks or something. But you're in a cell with a whole bunch of guys. They all stink. You know what? You have the worst criminals in there with the lowest form of the criminal mind, with no respect, things like that. It's the garbage of the garbage there. But thank God Joey's home. Maybe he'll come on later on. But jail sucks, periods. The meaning and humiliating the honest life is more rewarding. 100%. Absolutely. That's for sure. The I don't mind is you have to keep yourself busy at all times. That's what I notice. I like to stay busy. Once I'm not busy, I start thinking about other bad things. So I like to keep my mind busy, whether I'm working, whether I'm telling you guys a story and things like that. But today, what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to give you a little special today. I'm going to talk about mine and Paulie Galino's relationship as a kid growing up. Now, when I was growing up, you're going to like this. Yeah, I grew up around wise guys. I grew up in the neighborhood that was controlled by the mafia, the five families. Some families were stronger than others in my neighborhood. Jimmy, remember Al Aroni? Of course, Al Aroni. He was my attorney. Al Aroni was partners with James DiPietro. And I would go see him all the time. There was a restaurant on Avenue U and McDonald Avenue, Ferrantino's. And I would see him there all the time. And he would come visit me every so often. But Al Aroni, he was a character. Absolutely. He used to be in Spiro's Club all the time. But my friendship with Paulie Galino really started right before John Polio was murdered. Once John Polio was murdered, me and Paulie G became tight. This is a nice little story of a friendship of kids who grew up. And Paulie G was from Bay 23rd. I was from Bay 16th and Bath. Now, Bath Avenue goes from 14th Avenue all the way down to 28th Avenue and Stillwell Avenue. And a couple blocks could change the neighborhood. Me being from Bay 16th, I grew up off of Spiro's corner, his social club, Frank DeChico's corner. George DeChico had a social club on Bay 13th. And Polio was the kid who would make friends basically with everybody. He was cool with everybody, John Polio. Me, I had some enemies here, some enemies there. But when John Polio came to the neighborhood in the early 80s, I think it was maybe 81, 82, he changed all of us in some way of growing up because we knew of the lifestyle of the wise guys in and out of social clubs, running errands for them. Once John Polio came, he introduced us to marijuana, bike riding, going bombing on the train tracks and the subways. So he introduced us into more kiddie life style, and he introduced me to Paulie G. First, me and Paulie G had a fist fight. We used to play football against each other. Bath Avenue against Bay 23rd. Me, little Georgie, Polio, Fabrizio, a couple other kids, Albert, and Paulie G had a fist fight with little Georgie Adamo. And little Georgie Adamo, he could scrap it up back then. I'm saying, he used to just grab me and just wiggle you around. But Paulie G was a little bigger than him. And when he had the fist fight with Paulie G in Bay 23rd, I jumped in and I started fighting with Paulie G too. And that's when we became friends. Then I would come down there with Calco Reynolds and I would fight Paulie G one-on-one. And this is how we became good friends. And Polio was always the peacemaker. He always wanted to make peace, just make friends and stuff like that. So looking back, Paulie G was really a good kid growing up, and in that neighborhood, unfortunately, we look up to the bad guys. And that's what we want to become. We don't want to become a good guy. We want to become a bad guy. But all of us, in all honesty, our destinies were carved in concrete. Whether who cooperated, who went to jail, and who was murdered. It wasn't a nice life. But I remember the times when I had problems with Bobby the Chico. That's when all the crazy things started. This was maybe 87, 86, 87, 88. And Bobby didn't like me and my friends. So I shied away from Bobby. And then Bobby and all these other kids would drive around thinking that they were gangsters. And they would try to beat up my friends here and there. They would beat up little Georgie Adamo. Eventually, they would go after John Polio. They would come after me, eventually come after Tommy Reynolds. And I hope my friends that I grew up with, they remember those times. Because the thing is, as you grow up, what you do is you're very forgetful of who your true friends were, But we went through a lot of stuff on Bath Avenue where we had to protect ourselves. People were coming after us to hurt us. And that's when we formed the Bath Avenue crew after John Polio was murdered. And the sad thing is that John Polio didn't deserve to die. This is a kid who had 3 sisters, no brothers. He died at the age of 19 years old. And he really was a good kid. He didn't deserve to die. Some of my other friends, they killed people. They were involved in a lot of bad things. John Polio wasn't. So when that happened to John Polio, that actually ticked us off, and me and Paulie G became tight. And I could tell you this, out of all my friends on Bath Avenue, Paulie G was the key to all of us surviving, because at one time we were all barred from Bath Avenue. A lot of bad things we were doing when we were young. Eventually, Joey Calco was barred. I was barred. Tommy Reynolds was barred. Little Georgie, in and out, being barred from Sparrow. And the life that we lived in the neighborhood, stealing, running errands for these guys and looking up to them. And in the end, if you look at all of our lives were destroyed, But thank God I got a second chance. Paulie G didn't. John Polio didn't. Georgie Adamo didn't. Chestnut didn't. But we live and we learn in the course of life. Every day is a lesson. You can learn from it or you can ignore it. But I'm still learning lessons every day of my life. But Lisa Torsi, my whole family, Edie Weedy, we all used him. Jerry Papa's lawyer. He saved us so many times. Yes, that's Al Roney. Al Roney was a character. This little old man always had a 3-piece suit on, represented me a couple times. Al Roney was always good for a plea deal. And he was very good friends with Judge Brennan. He used to shoot the firearms with Judge Brennan's all the time. And what happened was, William Haynes, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. What happened was, when he used to shoot with Judge Brennan, I actually had a case pending of beating up this kid with an axe handle. And I got caught because some lady from across the street was watching me as I was beating him up. Some girl, Robin, called me, and I got caught, and I hired Al Roney. And Al Roney was good friends with Judge Brennan, and that's the judge I had in the state. So when I first went in front of him, Judge Brennan dismissed the case. He said, case dismissed. then Aaroni told me, he said, Jimmy, whatever you do, don't stay out of trouble for 90 days. After 90 days or 6 months, they can't indict you. But within 90 days, I was indicted. The guy I beat up, ended up going to a grand jury, and he pressed charges against me, and I got a 4-8 for that. I also got caught with a gun, but the 4-8 ran on top of the federal bank robbery charge, so everything worked out for me at that time. That's what's good about having private attorneys. When you have private attorneys, they can run cases concurrent. And I got sentenced with the feds first, and then after the feds, I got sentenced with the state. I think that was it. But of course, the feds don't run cases concurrent. So you got to get sentenced with the feds first, and then the state, you throw it right on top. This way you know in the future. But I hope you enjoyed that story. And I look back on all my friends growing up. Little Georgie Adamo, he was one of the first kids I met on Bethel Avenue. When I met him, he was a young kid smoking a cigarette. I was sitting on the stoop, walked up to me, introduced himself, and we became friends instantly. But looking back on all my friends, I tell you, all of them had some kind of goodness inside them. They all came from good families, and who would know what the future held? We were just experiencing as young kids and looking up to these guys and, doing our thing, flipping baseball cards, flipping coins against the brick walls, and, just having fun like that. Kick the can, playing sports, and not thinking about this mob life until later on when everything just comes together and you don't realize how far deep you are in. Scott H. Jimmy, what's your home life like growing up? If you don't mind saying, how did your parents react to your lifestyle on the street? Thanks. It's a good question. I'm going to answer it for you. I actually like the question. My home life growing up, my mom and dad separated. I was a young kid. I told this story once before. My father moved to Manhattan. Once I realized that I was a greater force than my mother, no one can stop me. I'm in and out of social clubs. I'm more hanging out with my friends. When you're 14, 15 years old, you're a teenager. And I grew up a lot faster than the way the kids grew up today. So I actually had a good life, a good childhood life, getting into mischief, having some fun with my friends. But we grew up fast. We got into selling drugs, having pot spots, doing drugs, a lot of things that young kids experience, if you don't have the right direction. But thank God my mother was always a God-loving person. Like I said, she would have these Bible studies. Me and my friends would go to the Bible studies. My mother would read off the scriptures, and we would just listen. And then at the end, my mother would speak in tongues, and she would have this little horn where you put a couple of dollars in, and then all the good food will come out. All the good cold cuts, the good pastries, a little coffee, some soda. And that's what me and my friends, that's what we looked forward to. But looking back on those times, I'll tell you, they're really good memories, and I enjoy thinking about it and also talking about it. Beck Brooklyn, they never had a chance to grow up. Well, that's true. A lot of young lives gone. Hello, Jimmy. Good to see you. Jesse Roth, hi, how are you? And thank you, everyone, for showing up today. We got 87 people in the chat. It's not a lot, but it's enough. A mother can't control a teenage son if they have their mindset in the streets. Absolutely. That's why you need a father figure. JM, Jimmy, if you were ever made and you were ordered to kill your friend, would you do so, or would you choose to die yourself? Well, you know what? Thank God I never had that choice. And no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Because if the person was evil, depends the situation. But no, I wouldn't. Not the way they did Paulie G. That's for sure. Not in his house where his parents are going to walk through the door. And the thing is, And I understand Paulie G killed before, and that's the life that he was taught. Those are the people he looked up to. Before all that, Paulie G was actually an athlete, a good kid, until he met certain people. And the thing is, he was probably bullied. And after a while, when people keep on pushing you, eventually you push back. That's what you learn in the neighborhood. Roderick Molina, Carnival and Bazaar season coming up soon. I used to terrorize the boots by going behind them and lift the tent flaps and snag goldfish bowls. Yeah, those are fun times. I remember going to Nellie Bly Park all the time. Me, Georgie Adamo, Paulie, Polio, all my friends back in the day. And we used to run Nellie Bly. We used to pay for nothing. We knew everybody on all the rides, and we would get on all the rides for free when we were kids. Sure, single mother. How's she going to control you? Unless you have a father around who could crack you in the ass, right? It's a different ball game then. Let's see what else we got over here. Trevor Smith, how are you? Scott H. It sounds like your mom's influence stuck with you and influenced you later on in life. Bobby Louisi has a similar experience with his mom, too. Well, the moms are always close with the sons, and the father's always close with the daughters. But my mom, she was a God loving person, uh, learned a lot from her. She was no fool, but she struggled for sure. 15 brothers and sisters. I have a big family. My grandmother had 15 kids. I was the youngest son, and one she couldn't control, unfortunately. That's usually the way it is. Had Trevor. You just made me think of Caesar's Bay Bazaar. Yes, back in the day. Shark Slayer. Caesar's Bay. Those were the days. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come back on here with Don Berlin later on at 5 o'clock. But I'm going to drop a link. Anybody want to come on? Anybody want to talk about what's going on in the world today? Want to chop it up with me? Whatever you like. Let me see if I remember how to do this. I like coming on here. I like chopping up with you people. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I dropped the link. You can grab a link if you want, if you like. You come on with me. We can chop it up. As you get older, you realize your mom and dad were right about so many things in life. Beck, it's so true. The mom and dad, the matriarch of the family. And I tell you, I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I lost my mother. She was 64 years old. I lost my father, 59, while I was sitting in prison. So I never really had a proper goodbye. It really hurt a lot. But it's an experience that a lot of people, I wish they never experienced. Losing somebody where you can't be there. For me, it was very sad, and it hurts me till this day. My mother could not control my brothers. She loved them, cared for them, prayed for them, and fed them. Once our father died, everything changed. That's usually the way it is, and that's the thing, life is so short. We don't realize it. That's why I say be kind to others. And, if you could help somebody along the way, just give them some powerful words to live by, and give them some kindness. I tell you, it goes a long way. It really does, because there's a lot of evil in the world. And some people get a kick out of this, But go with your heart. Love always wins. Just like Rita Giganti says, right? Love always wins. The older I get, the more I turn into my old man. Yeah, me too. But you know what? We're still young. We're not old yet. Across from Sal's Pizzeria. Yes. Remember the Blue Room. Let's see what else we got over here. Okay. I was with your guy in MDC. I was in the hole with Georgie Conti. Yeah, Georgie Conti. He's the wise guy. Beck, you're so right. I appreciate my parents more and more the older I get. I was kind of a smartass and rebel, but they never gave up on me. I think I made a better parent. Absolutely. Of course you did. Now, the thing is, we talk about our parents, The other day, I'm talking to actually one of my coworkers. Okay. I think his name is Bruno. And this guy is maybe 60 years old. Okay. And he's talking about his parents. And I go like this. I said, wow, your parents are still alive? And he says something about his father's like 87 and the mother's like 85 as well. Like, God bless them. You have longevity. And I tell him, I say, kiss your parents and hug them every day because I wish I can kiss and hug my parents. And I miss them just like if you guys lost a parent, you know how it is, you know how it feels. But I miss my parents every day. I do. And my father worked the same job for over 35 years. Passed away 59 years old, never got to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Left us $100,000 to split three ways, me and my siblings. Conti Zapola, Nikki the Blonde, Anthony Basil. Yeah, you're going back a long time, my guy. This my name, brother, man. I know. Back, I tried to put you down as a wrench. I couldn't do it. I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to figure it out. Once I figure it out, I'm gonna put you down. Amen to that, Jimmy. Who talked about me fighting Tony Pizza? That'd be funny, wouldn't that? I think that'd be two hits. You hitting him hitting the floor. Paulie G reminds me of Salvi Testa in Philly, killed by his best friend, Joe Pangoro, on Nicky Scarfo's order. Yes, that's a similar story. Yes, it is. I'll tell you something. The mafia is treachery, deceitful, and rootless, ain't it? Think about it. How they got rid of Salvi Testa. His father was an underboss, and eventually Scarfo takes out Salvi. And Salvi was loved. Everybody loved him, right, in South Philly. But you know what? In that life, Scarfo was very scared of Salvi Testa, of the love and the authority that he had. So, it was just Scarfo getting to Salvi first. Salvi could have made a move and got to him, but Salvi was too loyal. And that's the way it always is, right? There's always someone that's more loyal. But in that life, friendships expire quicker than we think. My father was in prison when I was 6 to 16. My mother, who was from Poland, was awesome. She did a great job raising me and my brothers. That's beautiful that you have a nice mother like that, and she was there for you. But Wendell, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Thank you. Johnny the Greek. Hey, Jimmy, my father had a gambling cafe in the 80s. The Greek social clubs were popular. I grew up around my dad's card games with all his gangster friends. Kids looked up to them. Yes, that's how it was back in the day. Salvi would have been boss if he lived. 100%. Absolutely. But you know what? That didn't happen. We know the story, right? The treachery, the deceit. SoFlo action. My brother Jimmy, much love and respect. SoFlo, love you, my friend. You know that. Hey, Jim. Hey, Don. Hurrying off to the grocery store. I'll hit this up when I get back. Peace. Yes, we'll be back. Me and Don, we're going to be back at 5 o'clock, chopping it up for maybe an hour and a half, 90 minutes. I just came on for an hour just to give you guys some entertainment. I hope everything's good with all of you. And I like to come on. I like to come on. I do like to do this. I just don't like the negativity that comes with it. Let's see. I actually had to give Johnny Goo a beating. Frank, I cracked his head open, and you know me. We were five guys from the Bronx. Vinny Bassiano was my guy. Okay. Nice. My beautiful brother Beck. A Salvi movie would be good. Yeah, there's a lot of movies that they need to put out there, 100%. Please feel free to donate the channel, as Jimmy would greatly appreciate it. God first. Thank you, Boston J. I appreciate it. If anybody wants to come on, you're invited to come on. I dropped a link. Come on, check it out. Let's talk about it. I'll be back with Don Berlin. He's got a lot of wisdom and is a patriot serving his country. Yes, he is. Johnny the Greek. London has Greek gambling cafe all over, very similar to the clubs you guys have. Boston J. Delete that clown using my name. Where is it, Beck? Okay. Johnny the Greek, Beck, Brooklyn. Hello, my man. So yeah, Joey Smokes is out of the county jail. I spoke with him earlier. I'm glad he's home with his mom. What's up, War? I hope everything's good with you. Hey, War, if you want, you can come on. I saw you on FBS's show the other day. I tell you seem like you're a very sincere guy. Johnny the Greek. Hey, Jimmy, how is Live and Let Live? Send my best wishes to her, please. I will. I will. I'm going to drop a link. Just grab the link. Let's see. Bensonhurst has changed so much in the last 20 years. Nothing from the 90s is left. I'll tell you, you know what? Bensonhurst is still pretty, but, if you go into the 80s, 70s, 60s streets, all those blocks are very pretty, especially on a day like today. It's very sunny. And, of course, Bath Avenue changed. Some places changed for the better. Whitney Lee. Why did the mafia hurt people? Well, the mafia most powerful thing is fear. If you don't fear the mafia, then the mafia don't work. So they have to use fear. That's one of their main tools. If you don't fear them, then you're not going to respect them. So that's just what they do. That's what they're known to do. They're known to shake down their own people. They're not what they used to be. But that's what they live by, fear, and hurting people and scheming on people, and it's all about money. If there's a scheme, they'll anything to elevate themselves. If they got to kill one of their best friends to elevate themselves, they're going to do it because that's the brotherhood. That's what they believe in. We'll gladly come on with you, Jimmy, sometime, Jimmy. War, you're welcome anytime to come on here, okay? I dropped the link. If you see it, you're welcome to come on. Okay, I like your style. I know you've been through a lot of stuff in your life. And if I can help you with anything, that's what I'm here for. Jimmy, did I the same thing as you? It's all good. I got you. I understand, Guy P. I understand. Any stories with you and Sparrow in the streets? My stories with Sparrow are very me and Sparrow very passive. You know, I didn't commit no crimes with Sparrow. I sent a few messages to Sparrow. I grew up knowing Sparrow since I was a kid. But as far as crimes, uh, just basically the Vincent Bickelman thing when Paulie G got the hit to kill Vincent Bickelman. Uh, I had to go talk to Sparrow for Joe Benanti when Joe Benanti had the fist fight. And I was always barred when I was a kid. Me and little Georgie Adamo would do burglaries, and Sparrow would kick us in our ass and bar us, and then we'd come back to the neighborhood a couple of days later. But I could tell you the time when I testified against Sparrow. I'll tell you, it wasn't easy. But when I found out that my friends killed Paulie G, and I'm sitting in a prison cell, and I made a phone call to my house just to say hello, to see how everyone's doing. And I think my mother got on the phone and told me that they killed Paulie G yesterday or whenever it happened. And as soon as that happened, tears came to my eyes. I just got picked up. They killed Paulie G, I think sometime in July. So I'm in jail maybe 2 months. And I'm going back to 1993. And just dealing with that and not being able to talk to him no more. What I did was I wrote a big poem on a piece of paper and I sent it to my mother. And I said, when they laid Paulie G out in the funeral parlor, it was Maraglia. I said, just do me a favor, put this poem near his casket. And that's what his parents did for me. It was a hard time, absolutely. And when that happened, I knew my friends were the ones who did it. It was just when I seen it on paper, it just basically made my thoughts right. Like I knew exactly what happened. But looking back on these times, I tell you, it's not hard. There's a lot of friends I lost. Are you going to accept Tony Peach's offer to box in Atlantic City for $20K? All right, let me see who this is. I got Tony. Tony, I'm going to add you to this stream, okay? Hey, Tony.
How are you?
How are you? How's everything?
Good, good.
How are you and who are you?
I'm from the Bronx, Tony.
Okay, beautiful. And yeah, I haven't seen you before.
Yeah, I watch you sometimes.
Oh, beautiful.
I was with all your guys, Georgie Conti, Sapola, Messi Marvin. I know them all. I cracked so many fucking kids' heads open in Brooklyn, in the
Really?
DC, the Latin Kings. Forget about it. We did so many fucking things.
You did a lot of time? You did a lot of time?
I did about 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
What do you do now?
I'm in the car business now. I'm in California.
Nice.
I did the same thing as you.
Well, you were smart.
I had to do what I had to do.
That's it.
There's no loyalty with these guys. They don't give a fuck.
You know why? That's very true. There is no loyalty. Once your number comes up and someone can elevate themselves, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you're a Bronx guy.
I'm a Bronx guy.
Okay. Well, Arthur Avenue?
No, I'm from Country Club.
Country Club. Okay. Vinny Bassiano?
Yeah, Vinny Bassiano.
How's the wise guys in the Bronx? I tell you, they're old fashioned. They still walk around with the big collars.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. But well, it's nice meeting you. You there? I think we lost him. Okay, we lost him. All right, so we know Tony. Let's see what else is going on over here. Timothy Sullivan. Hello, Jimmy. Hope all is well. Same to you and yours. Back Brooklyn, Soul Flow. Love your hair color. Thank you. Back that fake. You has me blocked like Antenna King. That's funny. Hey, Tony.
Yeah, I got disconnected. I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah, so what do? You sell cars, huh?
Yeah, I own a dealership. I'm in California, Orange County, Newport Beach, Huntington Beach.
Oh,
You know?
nice. Okay. I was just out there
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice. Where were you?
Orange County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went from Vegas to LA to Palm Springs.
Nice, nice.
Actually had a nice trip, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
pretty.
yeah,
It's
a friend of mine is actually in the car business.
Is he?
Yeah. I'll tell you, a lot of profits in that business, huh?
Yeah, there is. I've been in it I've been out here about 23 years now.
Nice.
Been
So
good.
so you're in Orange County.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I was where'd I go? We went to the Sunset Strip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went to a couple spots. Yeah, it's really nice out there.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. It's a different life.
Yeah, it's different than New York. New York is more fast. Over there, it's more mellow.
Yeah, it's a different life. But believe it or not, there's a lot of legitimate money to be made out here.
Oh, of course. I absolutely, especially in the car business.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I listen to your stories. I listen to you. You talk about your friends. I knew a lot of your friends. I didn't know them from the street, but I met them in Brooklyn at MDC, Georgie Zappola, Conti, all these different.
There's a Paulie G, Conte. They have a couple of years on me. They're both wise guys. I
Yeah,
grew up there from my neighborhood. Messy Marvin. He wasn't. I don't look at him as a friend, but I knew him from the neighborhood. He was on Beth Avenue.
yeah. He was half Irish, right? He was an Irish kid, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who shot Gregory Scott in the eye.
Yeah. He shot him in the. He was
You know,
fun.
lot of crazy things happen in the neighborhood. You know.
Did you ever know a kid, Anthony Ciancio?
Is he alive?
Yeah, he's alive. A kid named Anthony Ciancio. You ever know him? Kid from Brooklyn. He used to stay with the kid Joey the Blonde.
Joey the Blonde. I know. Okay, I don't know Anthony.
They're like real zips. They're not like the other side.
Does he have a nickname?
They called him the Geep. Yeah,
I don't know.
I thought maybe you know him.
Yeah, I don't know him. I knew a lot of guys from the Avenue, Avenue U, my parts of Brooklyn, Bensonhurst, Gravesend, stuff like that.
Yeah, we were the only guys there from the Bronx that were in Brooklyn. Everybody was from Brooklyn, MDC, Brooklyn. We were 5 guys.
Did you know Sakali, Dominic?
I grew up with him. I knew him my whole life.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, man. And this is the truth about Dominic Sakali. He's a tough kid. He really was, bro. He's not a punk. I watched him when I was. He was a few years older than me. I watched him get shot when I was a kid. He never opened his mouth. He never ratted. I seen him crack a lot of kids' heads open. I seen him with my own eyes, bro. And he always did his thing. He was a tough kid. Well, he did what he did, and then he did made a lot of money. So, a lot of his stories really are true. They really are. And I'm not defending him because he's from the Bronx. I could give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it is true. He did a lot of things, and that was about it. But I could vouch for that. He taught. I don't know.
Yeah, I lost you again, Tony. Trying to agree, Jimmy Calandra, your good stuff. You there, Tony?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know Dominic. I might have had maybe a hello, maybe to an email or something. But yeah, I don't know him. But he seems like he's a decent guy. Tells his stories. I know he's definitely the real deal. He's around Vinny Bassiano. Those guys did a lot of work. And at the end of friendships in that life, unfortunately, someone has to say bye.
Yeah, sure.
That's just the way that life is, especially when you're involved in murders and you know, shit happens. It's insanity sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But yeah, that's good that you're take down my email, therealjimmycalandra@gmail.com. I mean, you sell cars. I have a friend that actually is in the car business, you know. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you could do something with him. I don't know.
I'll you know what I'll do, Jimmy?
I can't hear you, Tony. Tony, I can't hear you. You there? Yeah. Oh, Scott. Reputation precedes itself. A troll. Okay. What's up, folks? Hey, Jimmy, JJ's reviews. What's up, JJ? Check out JJ's reviews. JJ's actually a decent person. I don't know him too well, but he's always had something good to say. He's not one of those evil guys. Check him out. JJ's reviews. He's got some funny stuff. He I guess he keeps everybody on the up and up. Jimmy, this is awesome. I put you on the patrons. Love it. Thanks. William Haynes, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna start doing some more shows coming on live and chopping up with you guys. I want to come back on YouTube, share my life with you guys. You got something you want to share, you come on, we could talk about it. And the course of it, maybe even helping some people along the way, maybe this helps you talking about something that's on your mind, maybe chopping it up with me, and just remember something, people, I'm just like you, I just experience certain things in life, just like you people experience certain things in life. It's either it makes you or it breaks you. With me, it makes me better. And I like to talk about my past because it helps me. So look forward to coming on and chopping up. Keep the shows coming, Jimmy. SoFlo, what's up, baby? SoFlo, you're welcome to come on anytime you like. You know that. So if you want to come on, I drop a link. SoFlo too. Check out his channel. He keeps everybody on the up and up. He's not one to mess with. Did a lot of time, changed his life, been to dark places. I'm sure he has a lot of regrets like me. I'm not going to speak for him, but he's a good person in my eyes, and I like him. So check him out. SoFlo Action, Tony SoFlo. Next time you come to Chicago, we're going to take you to a ball game and show you the town. William Haynes. Okay, William, I appreciate that. Louis Cole, Jimmy, how's everything, brother? Long time, my paisan. Louis Cole, how are you? How's the family? It's good to see you. Hold on, I got a friend over here. A little surprise, a little action going on over here.
Jimmy, how you doing, bro?
How's everything?
What's going on, man? I haven't been by your live in a while, bro. Hey, Beck called me up and said, Jimmy, Beck and Jay called me up. Jimmy's on. I go, I gotta get on, bro. I gotta say hi.
Hey, so this is Tony SoFlo. Look, Tony SoFlo is a friend of mine. Okay. I like Tony SoFlo. He's got a channel called what is it, Tony Action?
No, it's SoFlo Action is the one I'm using.
Yeah, SoFlo Action. Check him out. Subscribe to his channel. He's a really good guy. I consider him a friend. He defends my name, and you know why? He's one of the good guys on YouTube.
Yeah, bro.
So,
absolutely, bro. Jimmy's good people, man. I know for a fact Jimmy's a friend, guys. I just want
how's Tina? How's the family? How you making out?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. I'm wanted. I'm a wanted guy here. But what I'm saying, I'm doing pretty good, bro. We're doing pretty good. The family's great, bro. Tina's I'm supposed to be going over there in a little bit. Look, I love parties, man. I really do, bro. But sometimes I don't know, man. You know that my mom would say that, in regards to going to parties, she would say, "Get there late and leave early." You know what I mean? But yeah, they're in a family reunion. I'm gonna be going over there in a little bit. It's up in Broward. It's somebody's birthday, and we're gonna be hanging out there for a little bit and stuff like that. Everything's good, Jimmy. How about you? How's everything?
Everything is good. I want to start coming on. I want to start chopping it up with all these people, and I don't know, make some new friendships and things like that. Talk about redemption, maybe a true crime, anything, just to have a conversation. I mean, listen, it works for me. I'm sure it works for a lot of other people too, It's fun.
Yeah, man. It's fun, having people like you who have actually been who are really about that life and stuff like that. You have a lot to bring into the table in this genre, man. And you are a prime example of an individual that could actually you're a prime example of somebody that could actually change. And I think that's something very important that you bring to the table in this genre. You know what I mean? A person that how you used to be a very, very, very nice guy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And so an individual who has been in that type of life and that type of lifestyle to come on here and express himself, openly like you do, that's totally awesome, big dog. I just want to let you know that, bro.
Simple. Yeah, I try, and looking back on my life, I tell you, I'm definitely lucky, just to be on YouTube and talk about it. Thank God my children really changed my life so much, and every day is a new day, and I try to become a better person every day. So, this is something I really want to do. And the reason why I actually got off, because there's a lot of negativity too on YouTube. I try to stay away from it because I got a lot of positive people in my life.
Right.
When something negative happens, I always have people telling me, Jimmy, forget about the negativity, leave it alone. And sometimes, we react before we think, But I'm working on myself every day. Hopefully, the people out there are doing the same. Life is hard. It ain't easy.
No, it's not, man. It's not. And it's very easy to be bad, people. It really is. You guys, Jimmy, it's real easy, to do bad things. To actually do the right thing is the hardest. You know what I mean? Like me, I used to be a criminal, bro, and to me, crime was my addiction, man. That's what I like to do when back in the day and stuff like that. And I just thank God practically every day. I thank God that I'm alive, that I'm able to do what I really always wanted to do, and that's have a good time. But with rules. You know what I mean?
And the thing is too, so you did a lot of time before in your life, and you lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing time. When I was doing time, I lost my father. I never had a proper goodbye with him. My goodbye with him was 2 weeks before he passed away. Was goodbye. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon, because I don't want to talk to him no more. So when you experience things like this, it really affects you inside. It either makes you stronger, but it makes you bitter in a way too.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. I mean, you did a substantial amount of time. You did like around 17, 18 years, right? Didn't you, Jimmy?
I did 6 years on my first bid, and then I got an 8 on my second one.
That's 14 years of your life that have disappeared, and you never, be able to get back. That in and of itself could turn somebody extremely bitter. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you had the same experience, that you met people in there that they're just super bittered out, man. And that can happen, people, when you lose. Because remember, like I always like to say, the most valuable resource that we have in life is time, and you never know how much of it you have. You know what I mean? So. People like us who have actually lost a significant amount of that valuable resource, in a way, we can look, we do look at life in a different perspective. You know what I mean? Of that, I cherish life more now, Jim. I do.
Of course.
I really do. I lost my father and mother during my incarceration, and that was very impactful when something like that happens. The two individuals that you know in your heart of hearts that they love you, unconditional, and you're inside that type of place, and something like that happens to you. It's if things like that don't change you for the good, I think so. I have to come to the conclusion sometimes that nothing will.
No, absolutely. And when you experience loss like that, when you're confined and you're locked up and someone passes away that you love, in all honesty, the feeling inside is you're empty.
Yeah, man.
You're empty. You wish you could do something, and you realize, what? Your hands are tied. You can't do anything. And what you do is you mourn alone. Because when you're in prison, you don't want anyone to see you cry. You know what I'm saying? You don't want anyone to see your emotions. Because the thing is, sometimes you might think this is your friend, and they're seeing you weak, and then they're whispering to someone else, what you're going through in your life. So it's like I was always a private person. When I did time, I didn't let anybody know what's going on in my life outside. Unless someone was really tight with me.
Same here.
But when you're confined and you start losing people, someone you love, it's life gets really hard and difficult. And you want to make it out, and you don't know if you're gonna.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. And another thing is, another things that you find out about, being locked up, that amount of time like we did and stuff like that, is that you get to know who's who sometimes out here and stuff like that. When something that I always like to say, people, then when things are good, you do seem to have a lot of people around you. when things are going real good for you, that's one of the things that happens. But believe it or not, I used to be a real hardcore sucker for friends. When I got sentenced, or initially in the feds, I had a fan club in a way. After I initially, I was sentenced initially to 312 months, and I remember looking behind me and looking at the faces. And I remember saying to myself, "No, man, these people are not going to be around too long, just by the faces that they had." You know what I mean? And you do find out who's who when you are in those type of predicaments, man. But yeah, Jimmy, I was a very to myself also in prison. That was one of the ways in which I how you say, navigated the prison situation. If you associate with too many people, usually it will bring you problems. I did stay away from the negativity in there, drugs, wine, gambling, and things of that, and the gangs. I never joined a gang or anything like that while I was in there. I was asked on several occasions to do so, but I said that if I can be the leader, I will not join. But, that's one of the things that I did keep in mind in there, to talk to the least amount of people as possible. And I did do that. Jimmy, I gotta be going, bro. Tina's gonna kill me.
But listen, SoFlo, thank you for coming by, and I appreciate you.
And I appreciate you, big dog. I really do, bro. That's a friend. This is a friend here, people. I know that for a fact.
Absolutely.
Love you, bro.
Love you too. And tell Tina I said hi, and send my love to your mother-in-law, and I'll see you soon.
All right, we will. SoFlo's waiting.
All right. Tony SoFlo. Oh, let's see. Smash that like button. Lewis Cole. Well, because my brother Jimmy speaks the truth, a lot of people from the life can't handle the truth, like Johnny Haley, for example. Jimmy keeps it 100%. Big respect. Steven Sanchez, sorry for your loss. Yes, Steven. Sorry for your loss with your mom. My heart breaks for you. And I know the feeling. My condolences. Life is not easy, that's for sure. Life is not easy. So I'm on here for an hour. I just wanted to come on, chop it up with some of you people. Thank you all for coming in. We got 106 people over here. I'm going to come back with Don Berlin at 5 p.m. I'll come on for an hour. So at 5 p.m., I'm going to come back. Okay. Thank you all. Lewis Cole. I hope you and the family is doing well. JC's Bong, Beck Brooklyn, Boston J, Scott H, Nikki's Girl. To all you people out there, thanks for coming by, and I'll see you at 5 p.m. Love you guys. Bye.
never love you back.